has started. It did not apply our optimized settings, so I'll take a peek and see if that means anything. But
But Amanda,
yes,
I wanted to
hello.
go as fast as possible.
Oh, well, shucks.
And if our settings aren't optimized, how gotta go so fast?
How can it go so fast? So the funny thing is, I did decide to export our video to like a vertical, and it just automatically crops your video. So it's funny because you can see our logo and you can see your name, but then our screens, like unless I'm over here in the window, you can't see me my face. But you can hear us. So I feel like that's still pretty good if you're watching on vertical. Just listen to our voices. It's not really about our faces. It's more about our voices, I think, on the stream. Well, I don't know. Sometimes we're doing things with our faces, I guess.
Who's to
Would you
say?
say, Kurt?
Any emoting that I did right there was completely incidental and not reflective of normal emoting. We can't expect that kind of thing. Hi,
So,
Otto.
hello, Otto. We are here to play a little game today called Her Odyssey, which is a solo journaling RPG. I'll let Kurt explain more about it. But
Because Amanda doesn't know anything yet,
well,
folks. That's how this
I read
works.
what I read and made the description and did the tags. So I know some things, but you probably
All
know more than
right.
I do.
Well,
Amaz, thank you
let's
so
give
much for the
Amanda
sub
credit.
with Prime. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You could use your Prime anywhere on Twitch, and you decided to use your Prime here on
Here.
our channel. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And we are down a party member today as well. So maybe we should, I guess we can intro ourselves and then you can, do you want to tell people more about the game after that?
Yeah, that sounds like a
Okay.
great plan. Hi, folks.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
I guess I'll start. Welcome to Lies You'll Enjoy, a show in which we pretend to be people we're not, tell stories that didn't happen, and make a little lie that you might enjoy. Maybe a big
Mm-hmm.
lie, depends on how long it takes. My name is Kurt, and I am one of our duo today. I make games, I play games, and tonight, on this very special, not quite a holiday episode, just because it's not,
It's not.
I am joined by the one other member of Lies You'll Enjoy who is available today, and that is.
Me, Rogue, aka Amanda. Hello, everyone. I was just doing a Marvel Rival stream on my other channel that I am usually on, which is called Vampex13 over on Twitch. And we were playing some Marvel Rivals, so I am dressed like Rogue in honor of her appearing in that game. But that does not apply to what we're doing today. I am, however, a cosplayer, a streamer, an actor, and a lover of RPGs. So I decided to mix it up and go, you know what? You can RPG and play Marvel Rivals in the same day and wear a rogue cosplay all day if you want. Why not? I say.
We're always saying that.
We're always saying that. And yes, get that founder badge, Amaz. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the founder badge. I think we maybe have a few of those left too. I don't know. I think how many people get founder badges? Is it like the first? I don't know. They're very cool though. One of the first subscribers of our channel. Thank you.
But
Sorry that your Twitch is glitching.
it does make a cool rhyme, though. I will say we gotta acknowledge the cool rhyme. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Marvel Man. Hello, Lumix. Now
So
we've
that's pretty.
greeted
Who's
all the
greater?
speakers.
All the speakers. We've said who we are, and so I guess now we shall explain this game, and then we're gonna play this game.
Sounds like it's time.
Look at that. Look how efficient we are.
So efficient. You can
So
tell
efficient.
because we started exactly at 7 p.m. today.
Right
In
on time.
Right on time, every time. In Her Odyssey, we will be telling the story of a person, a person who we are going to invent for this stream. And
Whoa, we have a
there,
hype train incoming. What?
whoa,
Whoa, if
that's
we get
because Lumix Toot Toot joined the hype train, and that's the kind of thing that
what?
happens.
Lumix, you joined the hype train. You did. Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my goodness. We're at a hype train level 1 for the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds. If we get 2 more subs or 600 biddies, we complete it, and then we'll be at level 2. I'm honored. This is lovely. Okay, so we are playing as. Thank you
We
for
are
hyping me
playing
up.
as, I don't know, not
A
sure.
person will
Her,
make, I guess.
a
Her.
wanderer. We're
Oh,
playing as a wanderer.
wanderer. But she is a woman. Is that part of
That's the
the
default.
story?
That is explicitly
Because
the
it is
default
called Her
pronouns.
Odyssey. We
Yes.
got pronouns in this one,
We got some
so we
pronouns.
know
It does
who
say
we are.
explicitly, while
Sort
this
of.
text uses she, her, a wanderer may use any pronouns, but you bet your ass I'm going to use she, her today on Her
Yeah,
Odyssey.
I agree. I
It
think she,
only
her is
seems right.
a fun choice. But that's good to know that, like, Her Odyssey is a game that you can play as any kind of character. So whatever pronouns you want to be using for your character is also totally acceptable in the game. Does not have to be Her Odyssey, but today it will be she, her Odyssey, I think, for Kurt and I.
It's going to be that. We're going to answer a few questions to establish who our wanderer is, and then we're just going to explore some challenges that she's going to go through in the course of this game. This game is played with a deck of cards and some d4s, and I don't have either of those in front of me because we're playing online.
Yeah,
And
I don't have
also, I
those.
hate rolling d4s.
But I could grab D4s.
Look, you could if you
Roll.
want to, but who would ever want to? I am
Really?
going to
You
cast
really
some
don't
shade
like
here.
rolling? Don't you? Do you have any fun D4s? I have some that are like fun little shapes that aren't like
You know,
pyramids.
maybe if there weren't, maybe if they didn't like threaten to pierce through the sole of your foot if you drop them on the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
They
Maybe I was
really are
saying get
like,
you
oh,
some more like more friendly shapes for your D4s because I think they exist. I feel like also couldn't you
do
just
they
have
roll
a
well?
D4 on a stick?
I'm gonna need you to put a little bit, give me a little bit more than D4 on a stick. What does that mean?
Well, because before we had dice, we had sticks, and that's what people would throw. They'd throw a stick, and they were like shaven down so that they were different sides. Those were the
I
like
see. Okay.
ancient Egyptian dice
Like a
or
dreidel,
sticks.
essentially, a top. You
Yes. So
spin, a spinner.
you
Sure.
could get a
An
stick
S4.
that has 4 sides to the stick, little box
Some would
stick,
call it a rectangle, I
a
guess.
rectangle, yeah, and you could throw that rectangle, and that would possibly be more pleasant to you than a D4.
You're right. In
Yeah.
fact, anything would be more pleasant to me than a D4. That's just how it is.
So, will you be offended if I grab my D4s?
Absolutely not. Get your
Okay.
D4s out. This is a personal beef. It has
Do you
nothing to
want
do
any
with the D4
cards,
itself.
or are we just gonna use? Are we doing it another way? Do you have
I'll
another?
pull up playing cards. I'll pull up
Okay.
playing cards. Dotio.
Dotio. Not sponsored, but we'd love to be if playingcards.io would like to sponsor us. You can also support playingcards.io now. Once again, not sponsored, just we just love them as a resource. So you could support them
That's
if
true.
you want, which is pretty cool. They got a lot of cool tools for you for free. Marvel Man, thank you so much for the 7 stream streak. Thank you for streaking.
Straight on through.
Um, Just Rob is saying, Kurt, go get your trench coat and head sock on now. Are you gonna rob a bank? I'm not sure what's happening.
I'm really not sure what it was in response to. I decided my best course of action would be to answer Rob's question that followed, which is, how does a four-sided die work? It's shaped like a little pointy pyramid.
Well, I'm gonna go
Just
get
like
it. I'll
a
show you.
triangular pyramid. Yeah. Lummox, paper cuts from the playing cards, that's something I can live with. The D4, I mean, I made the joke about stepping on the D4, but if I'm going to be real with you, and I always try to be real with you, it's actually it's actually just that I think they roll very badly because you throw them and they go plunk. I just learned, while Amanda's getting the D4s, I will tell you, I just learned about a study, scientific study, trying to prove whether or not a coin flip actually has 50-50 odds. There's a long history of investigating this. Coin flip studies were actually one of the first ever statistical analyses in 1777 by the Count de Buffon, in which he flipped a lot of coins and tried to see if it will be heads or tails. And for many, many years, the results weren't conclusive. There were more heads in this study, more tails in this study, came out around even in this study. And that kind of implies that, you know, there's no trend. But in 2007, it was discovered that there was a trend. And just this year, in 2025, in the Journal of the American Association of Statistics, an article was published that flipped coins 350,757 times and determined that coins are more likely to land on the side they started. We've rolled a d4 in exactly the you can't see it zone that Amanda has demonstrated for
Well,
you.
this is a D4. This is a metal D4, so it is going to roll a little bit heavier as well. So just
Would we say
keep that in
badly,
mind.
maybe?
I wouldn't say badly, but I'm just saying I'm gonna throw it in the air and it'll move, but when it lands, it's gonna like it's not gonna roll because it's not super rolly because as you can see, it is definitely like a pyramid. Oh, camera, come on.
Oh, oh.
It wants to focus. Yeah, so it'll
Gilgamesh
tell you what number you get based on what side is face
is
up.
up, which is also confusing. And every once in a while, you get one that doesn't work that way, and that's not better. That's actually
So that's a
worse.
1, and you can see because my die is
One side is facing up.
1 is up. Yeah, so that's 1. Not a great roll. It's also
Maz,
one.
really appreciating the cool math equations
3.
you've given us here in the comments.
So yeah, I also have some plastic ones in here, so I'll probably load some plastic ones too, because I think plastic D4s actually do roll better, and I might even have some fun D4s.
Whoa.
We'll see. So we need how many D4s does it recommend?
Like up to 4. You technically really only need 1.
Because I could roll it 4 times.
Jamie, it's
I do have
actually
a
not
big
about
Christmas one. It's called a
that's,
Christmas
I mean,
tree.
that seems appropriate. I was thinking we might want to do something kind of snowy today,
Oh, I like
which is
that.
why I've thrown some snow into our overlay. Not like
Ooh,
Christmas per se, but sort of like Arctic
wintry.
biome, wintry,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of fun northern area or otherwise just chilly. Um, Yeah, Jamie, it was fair coins that they were testing. So the coins, all coins, have a higher chance to start on the side that they began, and that's because humans are bad at flipping coins. That's the crazy thing.
Right, so
It's
it's not
more
the
likely,
coin, it's
yeah,
us.
it's
We're
because
the problem.
when you flip a coin, you imagine that it's you imagine a disc that rotates on an axis, right? A circle spinning like this. But it doesn't just spin like this. It's got a little wobble to it. It's called precession. And
Ah,
if you flip a lot of coins, for example, over the course of 12 hours, because you're doing an analysis of coin
coin
flipping
flipping
tendencies, and you and 35 other people live stream this experiment to Twitch, and then you win an Ig Nobel Prize, which is how I heard about this study, you get better at flipping coins. And then your chance of it landing on the side that it started
oh,
with
goes down.
goes down, and then you have even odds. So you can be good
Ah.
at coin flipping, and being good
So,
at coin flipping means being fair.
but that means that like for if you do a coin flip on let's say like Google, that coin flip is going to be a more true coin flip than if I flip a coin.
Well, that depends on how you want to think about it. Because if you put your brain to it for a second, you'll realize, oh, there's no randomness to a coin flip. It's all just a predetermined physics calculation. It's just so hard to get an exact force and exact angle that it might as well be random. Um,
Right.
but like they're not
But I'm just saying
flipping a
like
coin,
so
right?
if you flip a coin like digitally, that would be because it is fully or it should be. I don't actually know. I haven't looked into the code, but I would assume it would be fully actually randomized. So it's an equal chance that you could get either side in theory. Also, this is one of my fun D4s that I have. It's like a little dagger.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. That's fun.
So that's what I was saying. Like I was like I actually feel like something like this would probably be like if you were gonna have a D4, we should find you like a fun set like this, and then that way it's not like it is still pointy, but
It is
only
it is still
thematically
pointy.
pointy, and not
That
pointy in
is
the way that
fair.
any side up is gonna hurt you. Just like I don't think it can land like this, so I think you're good. I don't think you'd step on it. I
I
mean, if you
will
step on
say,
any dice, it's probably not pleasant, to be fair.
yeah, no, it's not good. And that's not really my beef. I just think it's a fun thing to say. I will say the random number generators we use online aren't random at all either.
Oh, really?
They're called pseudo random number generators, and they kind of just start with a starting number, uh, usually based on like
And then
the
alternate?
time or mouse movements or something. And that's like the initial
Huh.
input. It's so
Wait a second. So you're saying they actually kind of made it like coin flipping, where like potentially the way that I do the coin flip affects the flip of the coin.
not like on purpose, though. It's just really, really,
Right. It
really
wasn't
hard to
intentional.
for something to be random.
Random.
Like there's like
Yeah.
what does that even mean? So sometimes you get like
What does that even mean?
kind of nothing, but there are
Oh.
higher entropy things. For example, like radioactive decay is like pretty random. So it's so random when there's
So
radioactive decay.
random.
But like that, um, I don't know, other things. That's the one that I know about. But yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Uh, the randoms, not really random. What does random mean? Hard to say.
What is random? Doesn't exist. Actually, an illusion. Locke, congrats on the 7 stream streak. Thanks for streaking. It's all in the thumb, says Lumix. I also saw, I think Lumix was saying that like there are a lot of dice these days that aren't like, or D4s specifically, were you saying? That aren't like D4s. There's a lot of dice that are like weird dice. This is very true. There's lots
And
of
more
fun,
power
weird
to them.
things. Yeah, I like that we get creative with our dice. Although some people will question when I bring out weird dice. I've definitely had people at tables be like, I don't know if you should be allowed to roll that. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because I don't know if it's as random or whatever. Like if it's equal chance because it's a
I
different
see.
shape. But I'm like, I think they thought about it
Huh.
when they designed that. I'm sure they play tested their dice that are weird
I feel like
shapes. I
now
would
this is
hope.
just me, but I feel like
I actually
unless
find
you're
it rolls
playing
better,
for
I think.
money, it doesn't matter, right? Like a roll is a roll. As long as
Well,
you're
yeah,
not
but some
trying to
people
cheat,
play D&D and they're like, but what if your dice roll terribly or whatever and you can't roll them any other way? Or what if you're like specifically rolling something intentionally? And I'm like, well, one, I would never do that. And two, I don't know. If I roll terribly, I roll terribly. We can't really worry about those things. That's
you
just how the
can't.
dice go.
Some things you
Yeah.
can control and some things you can't.
I find this rolls so much
Oh,
better. And it does remind
actually,
me of the sticks. The
Sorcery,
stick
it's
dice.
great that you're that person. Which one of us is louder and we'll fix it?
Yeah, which one of us is louder?
And could the other person just start yelling? Uh, the answer is only yes if it's Amanda that's louder. Because if because Amanda shouldn't be yelling. Amanda has precious little voice to throw out into the world, and we're not going to waste it on cool yells.
I definitely just yell as a human, but I feel like in my audio mixer when I'm watching us speak, I it looks like we're even to me. But let me just check to see where my mic source is coming from because it might not be capturing the right. It says default. I always worry with default. Yeah, see, that looks a little
Because
better.
what does that tell you?
That it's doing my camera. So I don't know
I
if this
am
is
being
better.
louder. Let us know, folks. Be our little sound people in the
That's
comments.
better.
We appreciate you.
Its default was probably my camera, so my apologies. I don't know why it ever does that. I will have a mic plugged into my computer, and my computer in Streamlabs sometimes will be like, would you like your mic to be the camera? I'm like, in what reality would that be my default? Computer, what
If
are we
we could
doing?
not do it that way, that would be
If we could
actually
do
so
it
sad.
any other way, yeah, that sounds
I will tell
nice.
you
Okay.
one more goofy, unimportant story, and then we can start playing this game.
Okay.
I recently had to process some audio, and there were a lot of horrible mouth sounds. I don't know if you folks have noticed, but when you talk, it actually makes a bunch of horrible mouth sounds, and if you record yourself, you hear them, and then you go, oh no, that's horrible. So I was processing some audio in which there were a bunch of horrible mouth sounds, and for reasons that aren't interesting or important, I didn't want to have to go re-record the audio. So I used a plugin that removes all the horrible mouth sounds, and that's great. And you say, great, Kurt. That's that's a problem that you solved, but it's not an interesting one. But I will tell you, there's a button that you can click, and I felt like Pandora opening her box, because the button that you can click says mouth clicks only. So if you click that button, instead of hearing only the things that you were trying to say, you instead hear only your wretched, horrible little saliva sounds, and it is it is dying. It is the worst thing. And don't joke about ASMR because nobody would even want that. Just you're gonna have to trust me on
Just
it.
mouth sounds?
Whew. Just mouth
There are
sound,
some
but like
people that want just mouth sounds. There's some people that
rapid,
really like, yeah,
weird little
well,
mouth sounds.
rapid might be more of an acquired taste, but there are people that like rapid mouth sounds. That's a style. Mouth
It
sounds
sounded
are
like a bug
ASMR
burrowing
gold, says
into a
Mikey
fish.
over on the YouTube side. See?
Well, Mikey, I'm sorry for that vivid description that hopefully no one heard me say. Great. So, thanks everyone for joining us. We have a lively crew today, which is kind of fun. Lively crew on this December
Jamie.
22nd.
Otto, congrats on the 7 stream streak. Thanks for streaking. And I love
Streaking
that
on
Jamie
three.
said for a second, I thought you said meth sounds. I
That
thought,
sounds.
where is this going? Where is this going? What are these meth sounds?
I'm sure people have answers for that. But alas, I don't. And so, it's time, I think. Time to play the game. Amanda, we are going to be building this wanderer first by choosing a name, some pronouns, and a few other questions. Amanda and I have in front of us a play sheet, which we're going to be using over the course of this game. Amanda, if I could ask you to open that on up.
Yes.
And take a little glance at our starting questions. The first one is just, let's say, what does our wanderer seek? It really could be anything.
I think our wanderer seeks the answer.
Oh, fascinating.
What do you think of that?
This one's going to get abstract, folks. A wanderer seeks the answer. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Is that too?
Yeah, I can rate that.
Is that too
Let's let it come for now. Let's see
All right.
what that
Okay.
does.
Yeah, there might
And
be something
then
else that allows us to answer that question.
ironically,
What
that means
the
that we're going to
question
have the
is.
same experience as the wanderer right now. Looking for our own
Looking for
little
the
answer.
answer. Yeah, the answer. The answer. What is the answer? It's a good question.
Now, what did our wanderer have to leave behind to go on this journey? Is a question that we are being asked here as well. I alluded to earlier, I think it would be kind of fun if this wanderer is on a journey through sort of a northern biome, like a subarctic kind of situation, because, folks, it's close to Christmas, and to North Americans, that means it's getting cold and dark. And to me, I feel like fun look north. Or it could just be winter. Doesn't have to be Arctic. What do you think? Amanda, you got a thought in that?
I like the
Amanda?
idea of it being Arctic. I think that could be nice. Can we say that there's like a bit of forestry?
Yeah. Subarctic.
Yeah.
It's shrubby.
There can
We're
still
not
be some
past tree line.
greenery. Yeah. I'd like it to be like kind of an evergreen vibe.
Yeah,
But
we got firs
it
and
could be
stuff.
Arctic. I'm cool with that. I think
Let's
there's
not go
trees in
like
the Arctic.
we'll like I said, we'll deal with we still have trees. We're not so Arctic that there aren't trees. Let's say that.
Right. We're keeping the
It
trees.
we're keeping the trees. Folks,
Are there trees in the Arctic? Let's see. There's got to be an area. Yeah, there's
well,
trees in the Arctic.
I
There's
mean,
a tree line where
yeah.
the boreal forest meets the tundra, according to the AI overview. And so I think
Well,
it's like probably you just get to a point where, well, the trees probably thin out, and then there's just like a line where it's like past this point there aren't really any trees because it's so cold. No trees.
that's true.
Yeah.
You didn't need to ask the AI. I have an environmental sciences degree.
I guess
Look,
you do. I more asked Google, but you know, the AI overview just comes up first. And I was like, I'm pretty
sure.
sure this is a thing I could trust the AI overview mostly with this information. I'm sure they've amalgamated something that's pretty accurate.
I think the Wanderer has left behind like a cozy cottage, perhaps, that
Ooh.
she lived off the land in, you know. I feel like there was a beautiful mountainside cottage, not a fancy one, not an estate, not a manor, just a nice, cozy cabin. And she had to set that aside to go on this journey. Cozy cabin
Cozy cabin.
in the mountainside. I think maybe she's got like a little reading nook that she thinks about
Ooh,
sometimes, you know.
I like that. Also, oh no, I didn't miss anything. Never mind. Thought I heard a sound. Was that you? Was that me? Was there a
Who's to
sound?
say? We can't know these
All
things.
right,
I
never
don't have a
mind.
sound sciences degree, unfortunately, but we could ask
Only
the AI
environmental
overview
sciences.
if you.
Was there a
Was
sound?
your wanderer well prepared for this journey?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I think that's all we need for that question. Whoop.
I feel like there's something in my eye. Sorry, I'm trying to see if it's.
Sure. These are the kind of things we want to know so that our eye stops hurting.
I don't see anything in my eye. I think maybe it's just I just did something weird to it, or it's dry a little bit. Maybe I'll just put a drop in it. I have been looking at a lot of screens today.
That's true. That's kind of how your Mondays go. You just kind of do an incredible amount of streaming, and we all go, "Oh my God, Amanda works so hard."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do as much streaming as I would have liked to do today, but I did some other things. So, you can't do as, I mean, still quite a bit of streaming compared to maybe some other folks in the world. I thought
That's
I
right.
heard the gun cocking for the gun show. Me too, Locke. I think maybe it might have been like an environmental sound. It may have been the bunker
That's my
making
degree.
sounds. Kurt's like, I'm ready to identify an environmental sound.
Is that the whispering of a willow tree? What did your wanderer lose? Our wanderer loved something or someone and then lost that thing or person, not because of this journey, but just at some point.
Yeah.
What do
What
we
did
think
they
they
love
lose?
then lose? I think they lost, oh, their glasses.
No, that's too silly.
That's
They
too
loved
silly.
their glasses.
Yeah, I'm just saying it because I recently lost my glasses and I did love my glasses. Um,
That is a shame. Oh, wait, hold on. That could actually be kind of a big deal because
that
if the
could be a
wanderer
huge deal if
loves
they need them to
reading,
see. Yeah.
right?
I only
Um,
need mine to see distance when I'm driving, and I have other glasses, so. But I mean,
maybe
especially when you're in the midst of a journey, I feel like it could be intense. And also, I think anything that you love and lose, if it is an item, there's always a potential for a story there. That's something that you learn in acting is like the idea of the power of things like that are around you, of props, and imbuing them with meaning. So it could be more than just glasses in the traditional sense of what they represent in terms of allowing you to see. Allowing you to see.
let's uh let's say that she went on the journey and brought her favorite book
Feeling
and a
there's a
pair of
lot of symbolism.
spectacles
Oh,
to
and so
read,
she
right?
can't, they're her reading glasses.
Yeah, she just wanted something comforting that she could read at quiet moments at the campfire, and
So now she has a book and she
doesn't
can't read it.
she can't read it. Yeah, distance
That's really
vision, fine.
sad.
This won't stop her adventure, but it makes
No.
it lonelier, right?
Oh, I love that. I also feel like there's something symbolic about the idea of losing your glasses when you're on a journey to find an answer. This idea of losing some kind of sight when you're on a journey to kind of gain some kind of insight is there's some
Yeah, yeah.
symbolism happening here that I kind of like. I don't know what it means. We'll have
We
to
don't need
wait.
to.
But
We'll have to wait. Folks, we just have to wait.
we just got
That's
to
how this
figure it
works.
out. Okay, I'm gonna put a drop in my eye. So if do you mind if I do this on camera? Will this bother you, Kurt?
No, no, no.
No? Is anyone in the chat gonna be bothered? Do you guys mind if I put a drop in my eye? I can spin away. Speak now, or I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. None of you have complained. Do it,
I feel like
says a
I'm being
mask.
teased
Do
about
it.
ripping
Drop away, says Atomic Sorcery. Thank you for the highlighted comment. Okay.
Drop the drops. Drop the drops.
And goodness knows,
Drop the drops.
over all my hair, you probably can't see it anyways. Yeah, it does feel like there's... That makes it feel more like there's something in there. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. I should maybe then... Well, actually, wait. I can't tell. Just keep blinking. I'll just cry it out, whatever it is.
I mean, you can step away if you want. Sierra joined just in time to see specifically you drop a drop into your eyeballs.
Wow.
So, more power to Sierra.
Wow, what a crazy time to come in.
So our wanderer lives in a northern area, is looking for the answer. We don't know what that means yet. Left behind a cozy cabin in the mountainside, was well prepared for this journey, broke her reading glasses partway through, or lost them, or just doesn't have them, and so she can't read her favorite book by the fire, which she wanted to as a grounding thing for this journey. And a shadow follows and haunts our wanderer's steps. What do we think?
What do we think about that shadow?
Is? Is it too cliche if there's some kind of like predatory animal that's sort of always on the horizon? I don't know if it's an actual like bear or wolf or what have you, but I think
maybe we don't know what it is. Maybe it's a monster.
Yeah. Some monstrous animal form always on the horizon.
Is it like...
you can see a long way.
Is it on all fours? Is it does it stand up?
I think so. Ooh, maybe if she rubs her eyes, having just like woken up, she maybe thinks she sees that for a moment, but we haven't so far.
She thinks she can see it standing up sometimes, but when you rub your eyes, it's like it looks like it's on all fours.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is ominous. I like it.
She needs a name.
Sub now to see more eye drops. You can begin to moisturize her eyeballs.
Everybody redeem the eye drop redemption in the chat.
I don't think that would be healthy for your eyeballs. You don't want to overdo it.
Well,
I can only do it. No, I can only do it like twice every few hours. I don't do more drops than that. But if we reach our goal... I'm sorry. This is also very loud. My apologies. Cool down period.
It's to make up for earlier when you were quiet.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I still can't believe that my camera was probably the one being picked up. That's always hilarious to me.
Shame, you hate to see it. I think maybe our wanderer can just be called Neige.
Yeah, I like that.
French for snow, folks. Neige. If you don't happen to know French, I will tell you it's French for snow. I don't think she speaks like this, but her name is Neige.
If you don't happen to know French, get ready because we're going to teach you some, whether you want to learn or not. It's happening. Says
some of you in the comments I do know speak French. I know some of you do, so the stakes are higher.
That's good. Well, then you can help us if we decide we want to start speaking some French in this game. We'll come to you, the more possibly more fluent people than us.
Please hold one moment while I answer an inquiry. Okay. I will return in a moment.
All right. That being said, I'm not sure if Kurt is fully bilingual. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I am not. I only speak un petit peu français. Only a little bit. Only a bit. You're okay with bilingual streams? Yeah, I think bilingual streams are actually really cool. I've watched some where people will go back and forth between like English and another language. I feel like you learn language when you listen to language. Is that crazy to say?
Yeah.
It's definitely how it works, I think. Right? Or flat out multilingual. Are you bilingual, Kurt? Do you speak French?
Yeah.
There you go. I knew it. Doing a bad job with Duolingo? Yeah, it's hard sometimes to stay on track with the Duo. But the thing with Duo anyways is that it's only as good as what you practice. So I feel like Duo is good to just give you a little bit of some insight, some things that you can use, that you can recognize. But then the hardest part with language is to just start speaking and practicing, because it's so scary to like mess it up. And it's hard when you're talking and then you can't think of words for things. And you're trying to stay in the language, but you're like, I don't know that word or how to say it. You just got to struggle through. That's how you
tricky.
get there. Yep.
But a journey continues, and then maybe you get where you're going. And on that note,
Maybe you get where you're
Amanda, I'm
going.
going to
Maybe you
invite you
learn.
into a little room.
Oh,
What chat would you like me to paste a link in? Because we've got a playing cards site.
you could do it on the Facebook Messenger group that we have.
That's what I'll do. Folks, in case you're wondering why I asked, it's because some video conferencing software, if you paste a little message in there, you mess up where the boxes are, and then all of you would see an unsightly, misaligned Kurt and Amanda. You hate to see it. Okay, the deed is done. Now, as Amanda talks to Anthony, who is not here, I will tell you all that this game is using two systems that have kind of been married into one. There is something called Caltrip Core, which is a D4-based system, and there's also something that this designer has made, a custom system that has been sort of paired with this one, and I think that's just really neat to like hack your own system and a different system together. The custom system is called Aspire for solo or multiplayer games, and this game that we're playing today, called Her Odyssey, is actually originally a game that was developed for solo play. I felt excited because last year in March, I guess almost last year, this past March, I found it on the table of offerings to people who are running games at BreakoutCon. I can surmise as an extension of that that this designer was probably there, so shout out to you if I ever played with you. Nice to have met you, but we can't know for sure. Now, here's how this game is going to work. Now that Amanda and I have established our Wanderer, we are going to take turns drawing a card, and that card is going to represent a hazard. Kind of similar to Wickedness, actually, in that the hazard is going to give us some kind of challenge that we're trying to overcome. Each hazard has a value, again, similar to in Wickedness, and that value is something that we're sort of trying to overcome. There's an immediate thing that we're trying to overcome, and then a sum of several rolls. The easiest way to do this, I think, would just be to sort of walk through what one day looks like in our Wanderer's journey.
Okay.
So Amanda, just would you draw the top card?
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Five
Amanda's drawn a
of
5 of spades. I'm going to put a 5 into our little spreadsheet where I'm going to track things over here, and I will tell you folks, here's what will happen. Amanda and I are going to take turns giving each other a hazard inspired by whatever we drew. Spades in this game represent some kind of hazard related to forests or cliffs or deserts or a sudden change in the weather or ruins or an ambush or an oath or a misunderstanding, doubts and despair, a strange beast, a confrontation with the wanderer's shadow, and folks, so many of these already tie into the things that we
we've
already
established. Great.
And we
I
didn't
like
use
when
any prompts
games
for
give
that.
us I like when games give us questions and then we answer them with our own ideas, and yet somehow it's like the game knew where we probably wanted to go. I'm just like, that okay, do you think that that's a coincidence, or do you think that the questions that we're given are given to us in a way that is going to that they know is going to make people think of certain things? Because I feel like there might be some kind of magical, tricksy game design at play there that I think is cool. But I don't
There
know if it's
often
just
is.
coincidence. Yeah, right?
Is now that
Just the
or
way
not?
you
Hard to say.
it's not even like the questions that you ask. It's that, but it's also like how you ask the questions, the order in which questions are asked. Like the more that I play different RPGs with you and Anthony, the more that I realize just how much you can kind of control a narrative with subtle suggestion. It's very cool. It's very powerful.
Yeah, I was just saying to Otto in the
Neat.
comments that leading questions that sort of push in a direction are unironically my favorite game mechanic, which is why For the
Same.
Queen is so brilliant. I
Yes.
think I'm going to present you with a hazard that has to do with cliffs,
Okay.
because that feels like a very immediate and obvious
Danger.
extension of where our wanderer started. We said she had a sort of mountainous cottage, and I think to move towards where she imagines the answer, which can we say whatever the answer is, it's in like the direction of the aurora.
Yeah, sure.
If people know what direction the aurora is and I've misunderstood its consistency, just don't tell me. That's fine. We can be chasing a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's magic.
Also, this is our
Um,
own world, so in this world, it could be in one direction. We don't know.
yeah, folks.
It's our own world. So
Um,
take that, reality. I also love what you were saying, Amaz, in the chat, where you were saying that you follow a stream where there's a streamer who's trying to learn Spanish. And so she has this redeem, so she'll just have to like speak Spanish for 5 minutes.
that's great.
I was like, that sounds actually great. I might have to take that. I think that would be a fun way to practice language. And also a funny way to practice language for entertainment. And Jamie, you were very close. I think it's je mange pizza. So you just take the S off, I think. Pizza. I like that pizza is just pizza. En français.
Yeah, that makes sense. You'd also need an article because there's no. Never mind, Kurt. Don't give a French lesson. It's fine. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to present you with a scene, and then you are going to
La
determine
pizza?
how
Yeah.
you wish to solve it. Uh, you're going to need to choose one of our three stats, and I did us the courtesy of choosing our three stat levels at the start of the game. There is vitality,
Okay.
which is a bodily strength, a force of presence. It's essentially strength and charisma, if we're talking traditional Dungeons and Dragons type stats. There is quickness, which is a cunning wit, a deft and dexterous body. And then there's fortitude, which is calm, steadfastness, and self belief. So you will choose one of these stats, and the number that is our number for that stat will determine how many dice you get to roll to resolve the challenge. The higher the number you roll on your highest roll of your dice, the better your result will be. And that's
Gotcha.
all you really need to know
And we can like
for now.
level up our stats as we go.
We can
Cool.
and level down because our experience is always
Right.
shifting,
All right.
much like snow over the tundra. So,
We can go up, we can go
so there's not
down.
much snow in the tundra for the record, folks, but a little. So, um, you see before you, back over your shoulder, already a couple days in, the mountain peak that we've come down through is farther away now. And spilling out before Neige is a grand valley that has little trees and shrubland that stretch far out in front of her. But before she can get down to that point, there's this overhanging cliff,
Okay.
crags and rocks. A few mountain goats stipple the edges of the landscape, standing in impossible places. How is she to get down? What does she do?
I think she's going to climb down. I think that Nej came prepared, like we said. So I think she has a length of rope that she's going to try to tether to a rock and then climb down
Sure.
carefully. I think there's a
Now,
ledge maybe in that I can see as Nej sort of out from the cliff face a little bit further down that we could perhaps shelter on or reposition on, or you could kind of just like keep roping down ledges.
great. Now,
Mm-hmm.
tell me which stat you'd like to use. I think there's an
How
argument for
how
almost
high
all of
up
them.
are we?
If you fell, it would be
Fatal?
death, I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
death. Okay, okay. But like hundreds of feet then? Hundreds of feet up.
Yeah, I think that's
Thousands
fair.
of
Not
feet?
like no, 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 no,
Not
no. I was
thousands.
trying to
Okay.
decide if it
Okay.
needed to be hundreds of feet, but I think it's hundreds of feet.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I think I'm going to use quickness.
Okay. That means you'll be rolling 4 dice. So if you could do that for us now.
Okay. There is a nimbleness to Nej's movements as she attempts to navigate the ever-changing winds around her, climbing down the side of this cliff. There is a sense of danger in the air, I think, where she feels that if she is to make one misstep, it could be her death. However, there is also the potential to just grab onto something if you are fast enough and aware enough, if you're nimble enough.
You're nimble
So
enough.
even if things change, there could be a way out of this, depending on how we rolled here. Oh, wow, I rolled quite well. Wow.
What's your highest die?
My highest die is a 4.
That means
I
that you
rolled
get what you want
4
and more.
d4s, is that correct?
Yeah.
Because quickness is 4? Okay. I get what I want, so I climb to the ledge. Nimbly, I think maybe at one point the rope kind of slips from Nej's grasp, but she's so deft that she just rolls to the side and grabs 2 ledges behind her and is able to pivot herself gently back around to that rope and grab hold of it again. She feels her heart beating in her throat, but she also trusts that she has the skills to roll out of almost any situation in this moment. And she takes the rest of the way down. I think she takes a little bit of time to make sure that she's always open to improvisation should she need. And she doesn't slip again. Climbs down carefully, quickly, simply. Easy.
Now, we know that she was trying to get to the ledge.
Yes.
And she was successful in that regard. But a 4 means that she gets what she wants and more.
Oh,
So do you think, yeah,
okay, so when she gets to the ledge, I think she realizes that she no longer needs to continue down this way, because actually, as she moves onto the ledge, she notices a little opening in the mountain, and it seems to be a cave with stairs that are carved into it that wind downwards. So she can now not just climb down more easily. Of course, these are still somewhat hazardous stairs, I'd imagine, because who knows how long they've been here? Who knows who has been around to maintain these stairs out in this frozen tundra? But also, you get to be inside and sheltered, and there is a balmy warmness to the inside of the cave that beckons her as she slips softly, quietly down the steps.
great. I
Cool.
think so now things get a little bit extra interesting
Oh,
because
extra interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
when we approach any given like day in this game, if we feel that the conditions have been satisfied, then we can move on to the next day. We've done a hazard roll, we've done it, great, we move on. If we want to keep resolving things, we could tackle whatever new challenge presents itself or new opportunity presents itself with another roll with a different stat, because there's a second game nested in the first one, which is that we are trying to count up any rolls that we make today in order to exceed the value of the card that we drew, which was a 5. That is having an auspicious day. We don't have to do, it's not like wickedness. There's no like, bad. You're very bad. You did a bad job on that day.
Right. So,
Horrible things
sorry, I
happen.
can use the dice that I rolled to also add up to that number?
Let's just
Or as
jump
we
into an
go, our
extension
best
of the
die
example.
adds. Yeah.
your
Give me an
best
example.
dice.
That'll make it clearer in my brain.
Having uncovered this cave,
Yes.
and beginning to move through it, I
Yes.
think the shift in atmosphere is uh, quite jarring in some ways. The warmth makes a certain queasiness in your body as you move through this space, having anticipated moving through a pretty cold climate and being bundled up like this. I I think there's a certain like sensation of like queasiness as you move through here, and I want to know what you do.
I feel that I'm going to take some deep breaths. I think Nej is going to take a moment to ground and use fortitude. Is that what I do? Do I roll for
Yeah,
this? Yeah.
yeah, give us a
To
roll.
to ground myself. I personally feel in my own life, taking from my own life, that when I start to feel queasy, sometimes I find if you just kind of center yourself and focus on your presence in a moment and take deep breaths, and just sit, then it's a good way to help abate any nausea that might be rising. So, fortitude is 4, so we'll see how that goes.
That's why they call it fortitude. That's stupid.
That's why they call it fortitude, baby. Well, that was a really good roll too. Wow, rolling well with these d4s today. I got a 4. That's my highest.
Great.
I got 2 4s. Pretty crazy.
I think you find like a sense in this rhythm of your breathing, you're invigorated in a way that maybe you weren't when you started off on this. Prepared, yes. Invigorated, maybe not. And moving through, I think there's a boldness in your step as you navigate the cave. The stairs move downwards, and eventually, when you feel tired enough that it makes sense to make camp for the night, I think there's a large sort of structure. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't really want to give you more since now I feel that's enough to conclude the day. So we're going to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Here's how this resolves. You rolled 2 4s today,
2
which
4s.
is more than our draw of 5.
Yes.
That means that we have had an auspicious day.
Auspicious. So
Auspicious
pretty good.
day.
Pretty good day.
This is good for us in terms of like how we feel about our journey, the success of it. However, there's everyone has their limits, and Nej did push herself today. So, on an auspicious day, each stat that was used to contribute towards the stat checks actually decreases by 1.
What?
You heard me.
So that means our quickness and our fortitude is going to go down for tomorrow.
That's right.
Sheesh. Okay.
Sheesh. Okay. And that is the end of our first day. This game is a variable length, but also we'll just stop whenever we want to because that makes sense to me. For those of you at home, if you were doing a full like journaling campaign, which is how the game imagines you approaching this, you would probably wake up each day, flip your card, think about it over the course of the day, and then move on to the next one the next day. Until you draw 2 jokers. But we are not playing until we draw 2 jokers because that could take any number of time.
Yes.
Amanda, why don't you draw our next card? Also, welcome Spree.
Hey Spree.
And welcome Sierra's joke, which I really like. Swapping out your current pin, Sierra, for a new one. Okay. Yeah. I had you draw the card last time.
Yeah, so you draw the card.
Draw the card this time.
I was gonna say, you were like, draw a card. I was like, why don't you draw a card, Kurt?
Did.
Let's all draw cards. It's fun. 10. That sounds intense. Is 10 crazy? Is that in our? Is it in a book? Is it in the book?
It means that probably like sometime at the end of the day, it's unlikely that we're going to have an auspicious day, but that we might. And if we don't, it's okay. Again, this is about the.
It's not a negative if you don't have an auspicious day. It's just it was an auspicious.
You have an inauspicious day, which is not like Like it means
It's
that
all part of
you
the
feel more
journey.
should have happened.
Yeah,
That's exactly
it's
it.
all part
Yeah.
of the journey.
There's no
Sometimes you have a
mechanical
day where not
punishment.
much
That's all I'm
happens,
trying to say.
and you're kind of like, well, I did things, but nothing crazy. It
Now,
wasn't
Amanda, it's a
amazing, but
little
I did it.
diamonds. You can see in this suit reference on our play sheet has some ideas what this hazard might be. And so today, I will be the one who is proposing Nej's actions, and you will be the one who is presenting an obstacle.
Okay.
Passing the game master mic back and forth if anybody is imagining this through a typical traditional role playing game lens.
So diamonds.
So, diamonds.
I think as you get down to near the end of the mountain, there is a door. The stairs end at a door. It is bigger than Nej, maybe 3 times her size.
Big door.
Big door, double door, let's say. And it is black granite that seems to be a part of the mountain. And yet, this is where it ends, at this wall, at this door.
If you feel that's enough and you just want me to like
I mean,
forward here.
Yeah, do you have any questions about what's around? I could give you
What
some
can she
more.
see through it? Is it just dark beyond the door?
It's closed. You can't
The door is
see can't
the
see what's
door
on the
is
other
made of
side of
granite.
the
It's
door.
3 times larger than me.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay,
it's
that actually
in
kind
the
of
wall
matters.
of the at the bottom of the stairs inside the cave. It appears to be part of the mountain because the wall itself is part of the mountain. So it could lead to outside. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to
Yeah,
try
I
to
mean,
listen around, see
yeah,
if you hear anything?
I have to do something.
Want to explore a bit?
I think what we see here, no, no.
No?
Nej is invigorated by the successes of yesterday, feels that this has been an auspicious start to a journey, and also feels that she has to pass through another threshold at some point because within here, of course, there's no aurora to be seen.
Right.
And ultimately, to find the answer, that's where she must go. What is there but an answer beyond a door? So I'm going to use the vitality stat and roll 3d4s to see if we can get this door open as she pushes her body into it.
Okay.
Wow, she really, really can't. I have rolled 3 1s.
Whoa. Okay. So
When
on a
you roll a
1,
1,
it's
it is, well, it's not good, obviously. In fact,
yeah.
I think it's quite bad. Where is our
Is
little
that
table?
in our on
Absolute
our play sheet?
failure. It's not, but I can put it there.
Absolute
You don't get
failure.
what you want, and things get a lot worse.
Well,
So
I think what happens
I've
is,
put it on our sheet.
I mean, I think things get a lot worse. So we've climbed all the way down the stairs at this point as Nej. And really all you can see in the darkness is this door. And despite the fact that Nej puts all of her strength, all of her weight into this door to try to get it to budge, it simply seems to be too heavy, or perhaps not too heavy, perhaps stuck. And I think in frustration, she perhaps strikes the door, frustrated with how stuck it is. And when she strikes it, there are 2 things that happen. One, the ground beneath her feet starts to move.
I mean, that seems bad all by itself.
And 2, all she hears from above is an inhuman scream. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound good.
That's so bad, actually. Yeah, okay. I think we just need this is another moment that desperately needs grounding, focus, a moment to gather herself because that is deeply unsettling.
It is,
And
yeah.
as the wail ricochets off the walls, we see Nej move through that same grounding exercise, this time with that sense of urgency behind it that there wasn't before.
Right.
So I will roll once again 3 dice. And this time my highest roll is a 2, which, folks, is not
Better
as
than a
bad
1.
as a 1.
What does a 2
That's a
mean for us?
partial failure. I don't get what I want.
Okay. I think that the sound echoing around this cavernous sort of, I'm imagining it like a turret that's just kind of spiraling downwards and downwards into the mountain, is louder as it goes on and feels like it's all around you. And so there is not really a sense of groundedness that you get. However, you don't have to worry too much about it because the floor that has been moving is now gone. So you're falling. So you're moving away from the sound. However, not really exactly how we wanted to go. At an alarming rate, I think Nej is now plummeting downward towards, it's too dark. You can't see anything.
This is so much worse.
It's not worse. You went away from the sound. That's good. But you said it has to be something that's like not necessarily what you wanted to happen. So
Well, you nailed it. So here's,
but we're
there's
out
no
of that
question.
danger. So phew.
Phew. I think I'm gonna, well, I got to use our last stat. You can't use the same stat more than once the same day. So with quickness, of course.
Of course.
I think Nej, in the dim,
come on, girl. Let's
slight
good luck.
light
Yeah.
of this falling chamber, I think she makes out what she thinks is a slope. Too steep to be comfortable to walk down, but maybe. Nej pulls off her pack quickly the moment she feels the floor starting to give. And the bottom of her pack is a sledge so that she can carry it across a plain. A sled, essentially.
Right. Sure.
And
She's going to ride her pack down the slope?
Well, we're going to see. She's certainly going to try.
I like this. Come on, roll well on this. This is sick. This is a great idea. I love this.
I did get a 3, which is enough.
Hey. Okay.
Okay, I get what I want, but things do get complicated in some way. So feel free to let us know what that means.
Okay.
They are already complicated, obviously, but we do get what we want.
You get what you want. So I'm gonna say Nej successfully, definitely in one move. It's like floor gone, pack off underneath. Immediately you feel just maybe 3 seconds after that movement, the ground meets you. It is a slope. It is steep. It doesn't end for a while, and the speed that you pick up is alarming. And as you come out of it, you shoot off of a little cliff, and the sun blinds Nej's eyes. Everything is white, a blinding whiteness of the snow. But as Nej careens through the sky, holding as tightly as she can to the pack below her, separating and yet not letting go, she lands, poof, right into a patch of very fluffy snow that seems to be on top of a gathering of, let's say, pine needles. So it's a pretty gentle fall considering how much worse it could have been had you not thought of that sled. Could have been worse.
This day, in case anybody was curious, will be inauspicious, as the sum of our rolls did not exceed 10. And
It
boy,
does
howdy,
also
did
feel
we not.
inauspicious in the way that like it's like things happened to you. You
Yes,
didn't
which
happen to them.
makes perfect sense
Yeah,
for this context.
I agree.
And yes, definitely not so great. So, Amanda, I would invite you to draw a card.
Okay. I got a 4 of diamonds.
Great. I will add a
Oh,
4
now
to our
you get to
sheet.
play with the diamonds. Have fun.
I get to play with the diamonds.
So, and I also like
Um,
the idea. So the prompts that we have there are obviously things that can help us to define like kind of the hazards that we're using, but it doesn't have
yes.
to be as straightforward as literally picking something and that's exactly the thing. Because I obviously had some different ideas that evolved as we told the story. I assume that's I'm doing that right. Am I doing that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Going great. You nailed it.
Exactly.
Uh,
Absolutely. Exactly.
Part of what makes solo games so interesting is that if you were by yourself, you're both, right? Like you make the challenge,
Hmm.
and then you roll the
And
dice.
then you defeat
Some
it.
folks love that shit, and
Oh
I
yeah.
love that for them. Now, I think in this list there are some interesting picks, and I feel like one of the more interesting ones is uh, an abandoned dwelling, villages, towns, cities. I think as she comes to, as she looks around in the outside light that seems so blinding, and looks back to see the chute that led out of the mountain. And before her sprawls this village. We're not so far from where Nej started that she hasn't heard of this village before. But it's rare for people from the community that she's from to have made the trek across the mountains. Certainly, no one has ever encountered these chutes as far as she has heard from those she spoke to. And as she enters this village, I think everyone there has these really elaborate squid ink tattoos
Ooh.
that have been delicately administered. And it's a standard village, I want to say, by the sea. I think there's um, I think there's whaling as something that sustains the village, but there's also agriculture in the warmer months. Right now, we see that there's a big catch that's been brought in, and as Nej sort of approaches the town, we see Nej is immediately seen, identified as an outsider, because in a very visible sense, she does not look like she belongs. Also,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure, let me just check one thing.
What's different about Nash? Like,
Well,
what
first
makes
of
her
all,
stand out the most?
the lack of the tattoos is the big one. Everyone is
So
intricately and beautifully tattooed.
they're like completely
Um,
tattooed. Because I'm assuming they'd
yeah,
be
I think
pretty covered up because of the
I think
climate, right?
it's
Or
swirling sort of
are they covered up,
geometric
or do they not
lines.
really wear as much as like Nej is wearing? Like, are they more hardy?
Well, they're working. So I think people are around fires,
Right.
drying meats and stuff.
So
So
they're not as covered.
they're not as covered. And I do think it becomes pretty apparent. And Nej isn't as covered either because she arrived here having gone through a warmer cave system, some kind of geothermal activity that kept it warm. So I think it's quite evident in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, I forgot to mention, wait, nope, I was wrong. I was about to be like, and because we used the stats on an inauspicious day, they go up. Wrong, folks. They go up if you don't use them on an inauspicious day. Kind of a double
Oh,
opposite
did
situation.
you
So
use
there's
all
still
of them?
three. Yeah, but they'll stay three because
Okay.
it wasn't an auspicious day. So now I wasn't ready for the full like double-handed mow down. Sorry.
Sorry, I have this protein
Someone,
bar I haven't finished.
not a problem. You got girls gotta eat. I think someone approaches quite like sort of marches up to you.
Mm.
Um, do they say anything? Yes. I think you get a kind of aggressive like I'm not going to speak as this character, but I think it's clear from the words that they raise that it's suspected that you're here because you want to like take some of the catch. Like you're here, the big whales come in and you're here to like take advantage of it.
Mm.
So I'm going to pass the mic your way now, I think, and say, what does Nej do?
I think Nej pulls out of her bag some of her supplies, some of her food supplies. And she tries to gesture that she's looking to like offer that, like maybe there's a trade that can happen. So not necessarily that she's there to take anything, more that she's there to buy something, to do
Okay.
some trade.
What are you rolling? And
What am I
what is,
using for that?
yeah, what are you using?
Mm.
What are you using?
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
I'm gonna say,
What are you selling?
I mean, yeah, I think I'll use fortitude for that. I think fortitude makes sense.
Sure.
So I get 3.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 4s.
Well, there you go, folks.
These dice are
Great.
rolling really
I
well
think
for me. Should I?
the
I'll mix the
the
metal die in next time.
you're all good.
See how
The
that
instant
goes.
that you pull out
Lucky today.
your stores, still fresh from the journey, I think probably even you have preserves that you've made yourself, and all kinds of things that indicate that not only are you prepared to pass through this town and sustain yourself, you're also not here for their stuff, right? And you have offered it. So immediately the tone of the town completely changes. And as the day begins to wear forward, I think you've had chances to speak to people in the village, to connect to
Hmm.
women threading leathers through snowshoes. You've spoken with the people who are sort of doing the elaborate process of preparing the big catch. And as the day winds onward, um, this fire for drying becomes a place of sharing stories and song and dance, a connection. I'm gonna ask you, I think, would you
Mm.
like to do anything else today?
Yeah,
Or
I
would you
would.
like, okay,
I would like to dance, and I would like to ask the people that I'm dancing with if they know about any other creatures in this area. I want to see if they recognize the sound that we heard when we were falling in the cave yesterday.
great. Uh, what are you gonna use?
I'm going to use. Well, I am dancing. So, I mean, quickness could be good for the dancing part
Well, I
to
am
be
dancing.
be nimble, but fortitude could also work for this because I think there's just a certain sense of like just being chill and not freaking people out asking those questions. I'll go with the dancing though. Let's go with the dancing. Quickness.
Quickness.
All
Give me a roll. Give me your roll.
right. Switching some of my dice. Man, wow. Okay. Got a 4. So I don't normally roll this well. This is a rare
Look, we're all
occasion.
happy for you.
I
It's a stunning thing.
I just want people to know my dice are not loaded. However, they're just rolling really well. I don't know. If you guys
We don't
want
know,
to,
folks.
you can see my dice if you don't believe me, but I'm sure you guys do believe me. But I rolled the orange and the tree and the dagger, and I got a 4, 3, and a 2. So that's all pretty good. Look at that. What the heck? This tree die that I was gifted is rolling quite well today. I'm probably jinxing it saying that, but anyways.
There is one of the people in the group who perks up at this question.
Oh,
I think she's rosy-cheeked and a little younger than you, still an adult, still
okay.
about the world. Um, but she's got a spryness to her. And after the dance, as you ask this question, I think she moves up to you and says, "Well, I can't believe that you haven't heard to tell such stories in your dance and to not know of the question. Have you
What's
seen the question?"
I have not. I or I don't think I have.
She is a beast, or at least we take her to be one. She shrieks when it grows dark and she stands on the horizon. And it's said that if you seek the answer, she shall always stand on your horizon until you find it. We don't like to speak of the question, but I sense that you seek her counterpart. For that is why you ask, is it not? She takes a bite of the dried meat from last year's harvest.
I am searching for something. Yes.
What? She whispers.
For an answer.
She nods sagely and turns to face the burgeoning aurora forming on the horizon. Not the same horizon as looking back over your shoulder. No, nothing there. But the aurora, she turns to it and nods at you. She says, I will be traveling that way as well, although not by the main road. Should you come across me again, I would like to hear of your journey. My name is Juniper.
Thank you, Juniper. Perhaps I will see you somewhere out there.
Perhaps, she says. And I think that's the last big moment that you have with someone in the village before um, it becomes time to slumber, and they offer you a place to rest your head. And also, I think, in kind to your offering of the many little things from your cottage back home, they give you some of their stores as well. So
Yay.
that is an auspicious
Stores
day.
exchange.
Stores exchange, stores of trade,
Yeah.
trade.
So that's an
Um,
auspicious day.
it's an auspicious day.
Wow. So we go up? Or no, we go
Nope,
down.
we go down.
How do we go up if we don't use it?
If we don't use it
And
and
it's
it's
not
an inauspicious day.
auspicious. Okay.
Yeah, so kind of the opposite. Probably what's about to happen on my turn.
Well, we'll see. It could
We'll
also
see.
be auspicious. Depends on the rolls. Dang it. I rolled too well.
You're too good. I've drawn a 7 of diamonds. Folks, I normally never draw this many diamonds. This is a crazy day. It never happens.
Is it based on our die results that we used? So even if I had used the same stat, it would still be an auspicious day if I'd used the same stat twice and succeeded.
You cannot use the same stat twice in one day.
Oh, well then never mind. Against the
Never
rules.
mind. It's just the sum total of your rolls on a given day.
Right. And you can't use the same
Regardless of
stat.
whether or not they were successful rolls, interestingly,
Mm.
because you could technically fail a challenge and then like have an auspicious day. It's just, yeah, interesting. But that's neither here nor there.
Wow,
What is
yeah,
here
fail
or
a
there?
challenge and have an auspicious day. That would be like kind of the worst case scenario for your stats, anyways.
It would be an interesting case scenario narratively because it implies that your day was full of hardship and challenge, and yet you still feel like there was goodness to it, which I think is
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, I think what's interesting already about the way this game seems to be progressing is this idea of like the toll that the journey takes on you, but how even though it makes things more challenging, it's not really like less satisfying to be challenged. I don't know. It seems to be
Yeah.
saying some interesting things about
Yeah,
hardship.
there's things coming out of this narrative, aren't
It's
there?
pretty interesting. I like it. I like
Shit.
it. You got a 7 of diamonds?
Sure did.
Alrighty then.
Folks, Anthony says that they hope we're having fun. So I assume that also applies to you. I'm going to apply transitive property to that. Hope you're having fun.
I will say that I'm having fun, and I mean chat seems to be chilling. They seem to be having a good time.
Chilling
Challenges.
is what I mean. It's the day after solstice.
It
I
is.
feel like
It's
if
time to
there's
chill.
no better day to rest, it's now.
You guys are selling me on the idea of resting after this stream, which I was going to do more work. I was going to maybe make a TikTok even or some kind of cosplay short. And now I'm just like, maybe I won't do that. Although, if you guys come up with a cool idea in chat that's easy, maybe I'll do something that's easy.
Folks, I've been thinking about taking a break, but if you think of some cool work to do, I'll do that.
Low
You're such
effort
a
though. I
goof.
don't
You're
want to
such a
do any high
goof.
effort work. That's my one thing is I know if I come up with something it's going to be ridiculously complex for no reason. That's just how I am. Well, those are some cute little
Just export
cute
all your
little
mouth sounds,
emotes.
free ASMR. Boom.
Okay.
I wish I hadn't said that. Oh, no.
Okay, so sorry for anyone that doesn't like mouse sounds. But that's all you're getting. I think that you as Nej come into contact with the question.
Ooh, okay. Yep.
And yet, it does not seem to be a creature. It starts in the morning. You can see it on the horizon, and it is far away. And as you were told by Juniper, the question follows those who seek the answer, but is always supposed to be just outside of reach. So far on our journey, we have not seen this being moving towards us, closing a gap, more equidistant every time we see it. But this time is interesting. When you look again, it seems to be standing up, and when you rub your eyes, it's still standing up. And as the day wears on, it doesn't remain the same distance, but seems to be getting closer and closer and closer. Odd, as you never see it move. And yet, when you lose track of it and see it again later, you just notice that it seems to be that you are walking towards it. Or is it walking towards you? Does it walk?
Nej has heard. that when threatened, a presence is important. To be large, to intimidate, to make yourself known, undeniable. Perhaps always moving away from the question towards the answer isn't the path today. She draws in a breath, deeply. I'm going to take vitality, which includes force of presence as part of its skill.
All right.
And I will roll 3 dice.
Okay, sweet. I don't know if you
I
guys noticed
have
my
a
foot
4.
slipped on my chair. Oh my goodness. A 4? That's
A
great.
4!
You did it.
Oh,
Yay. That's very auspicious of you to roll a 4. So that means you get what you want and more.
And more. And more. Yes, and.
Yes, and. So you are hoping to move towards it? Is that what you were saying?
I think the idea
What are you
is
looking to do here?
I think I want to repel it with the force of my
Oh,
presence.
yeah. You want to be
like
big and
to
intimidating.
appear,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
a bear in the woods.
How are you doing that? What's your approach
It's a question
here?
of whether staring it down and imagining herself as being present
You'd like to use
is
intimidate.
enough.
Is that what you're saying?
But
You're
there's
gonna
a
just
possibility that it
block eyes.
physically, there's a sort of nebulous magic, I feel like, to this game.
Okay,
And
okay.
if she does physically like
No,
appear larger.
I like the idea of just staring it down. I think that's a good tactic. And I'm gonna tell you what happens. So Nej stares down the question. But when she does, something happens. Something more than just a staring contest. In fact, while Nej has been struggling to make out even the shape of this being for the time she's been on her journey, as she locks eyes with it, she now notices that she can see it. Not quite so much its figure. Its shape, though, yes. It's shaped like a person, but also like a person that you've never seen before. People don't look like this, and yet how is this? It's a person. It's the shape of a person. A person I've never seen, Nej thinks. And when her eyes lock with it, she sees its features. She doesn't see the specifics of its body, but its face. It has these big, beautiful, soft eyes. They're a crystal blue. Its lips are like 2 sheets of ice, two icebergs almost on its mouth. And there is somehow, despite its cold color, a warmth within it. There's a longing here. And when it meets Nej's eyes, for a second, Nej can feel that warmth within her. She can feel that sense for connection. And when she connects with it, it shies away. It runs away. Not out of necessarily a place of challenge and loss, more out of a place of fear. And it surprises Nej because she thought that the question was what was to be feared. And now she is wondering if perhaps it is the answer that it is intimidated by.
Cool.
So we're
All right.
gone.
draw a card.
Okay. So not an auspicious day.
Not an auspicious day. But that
Felt pretty
means that the two
auspicious though,
stats I
didn't it?
did not use
Get to go up.
get to go up. I think
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
it has an edge sort of questioning what her assumptions are and why she's moving through the world in the way that she is. It's enough to make you reflect and feel like
Yeah, so it's
perhaps,
less of like a I accomplished a thing and more of like a what am I doing kind of day.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
she's
That's
seen
fair.
something different in a threat and wonders if she's seeing the world in a way that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. All part of my plan. I have grabbed a 3 of clubs.
We tiny little number.
Mm-hmm.
3 of clubs. 3 of clubs. Let's see. Ooh. A lot of interesting things here. I think
You're gonna have to listen through that again, Jamie. I need a replay of that one.
playback. Playback, folks.
You can rewind. We have that technology.
You've been walking along the coast since stopping at the village from which Juniper came. And I think as you travel further, there's whipping winds that come off of the seas, and the seas begin to look angrier. The shift in weather is enough that you're battered, and the sea salt stings your eyes. All of this feels quite tolerable, if not unpleasant. But I think at some point, waves start to surge in, and you realize that the place you're standing is going to be underwater soon because a tide is coming in a low-lying area that you crossed without realizing.
Oh damn. Whoops.
What do you do?
Tide is coming in. Is there anything around me? Is there any ice? Is there anything that I could
I think there's some ice flows on the water.
feel
Your
like
yeah.
I'm gonna try to cross? Is there like an area that I can I think I want to try to cross the water.
Like as the water comes in, hop
to the
on
other
to
side of like where the beach would kind of be, if that makes sense. Like
I
if
can see
I'm
what you're
over
saying.
here, you know what I'm saying?
It's yeah, sure.
I don't know
what are
if
you gonna
that's gonna
use?
work or it might end
Well,
terribly.
no one can know
We'll
until
only
you
know
roll.
until we roll the dice. I think I'll use this feels like quickness to me. So our quickness is at 3. Is that right? Or
Yep.
did it go
All
up?
of our stats are 3 right now.
Oh.
They went up.
Oh, there were 2?
Yeah, you put them down to 2 with your silly success.
Oh yeah, my success. Curse my success.
Yeah. My success.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the metal die, so we'll see how this goes. Might go terribly. Yeah. Yeah, check it out on YouTube. Get those numbers up by 1. Thanks, Jamie. YouTube is kind of one of the best spots for VODs, I find, as well. So
it is quite pleasant to watch a YouTube VOD. Twitch VODs,
I mean,
it's
they're usable. They function. They function. And you know, if you're a subscriber on a channel, I think you get to watch them without ads, right? So no ads. So that's kind of nice. Or if you have Twitch Turbo, but you know, if you have YouTube Premium, then you don't have ads anyways. So not that I'm saying that you should go to YouTube from Twitch. I would never say that. I'd never say it. It's never been said on this
Indeed,
stream.
we've never said anything about streaming platforms at all. As far as I was aware, I was sitting in an empty room talking to my friend.
So I have rolled a 3.
A 3.
So it succeeds, but there's a complication.
There's a complication,
okay. Yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. Essentially, as the tide starts to roll in, you feel a chill through you. Uh, as I think it's immediately like cold enough to feel through your maybe moccasins. I'm not sure what you're wearing on your feet, but it's bad enough to feel the cold, but I don't think it penetrates your footwear.
Okay.
All of this is to say,
But I feel it
as
around my footwear, like Nej
as
is
you feel
feeling it
that
around her
bite
feet.
of the cold of the water, I think
Yee.
there is an opportunity to sort of move onto this ice floe. And it's large enough that there's a contiguous series of ice flows that you could move from one
I'm
to another
starting to
to
feel
another.
like this is a crazy idea that I've chosen.
You sure made a choice, but there were only so many choices to make, I
For Nej.
think.
Yeah.
Um, as you feel yourself swept onto this ice floe, you are out of the water.
Mm,
You are on something that is dry,
mm.
and the aurora does flicker in the direction of travel. Would you
Okay.
like to continue with this day or move on to the next one? So
Well,
was that quickness, did you say?
yeah, it was quickness. I mean,
Right.
we could move on to the next. I'm assuming I make it across. Is that the idea? Am I going to stay on the ice floe? Where are we camping?
I
On the
I
ice
think
floe?
there's a contiguous sort of cracks between ice flow. This one came off of the
Just
it's not
wondering
a
if I'm
fleet.
sleeping on like a piece of ice in the night as we drift, because
I think
that's a
once you're
different
on the
vibe.
ice,
Yeah.
you're sort of like there's an opportunity to cross these fissures to get to a larger piece of ice, but you will still be on sea ice. And there's a gap between the ice and the shore. It's just large enough that now it could pass for land. So we've
I
moved
see. So it's
into
still technically ice, but it's such a big piece of ice that it's like you could traverse on this and don't fall through. But
right.
yeah,
So you
okay.
haven't moved to the beach that you aimed for. You are in some
I'm still
ways
on the
at
water,
sea,
but
but it's
it's
functionally like
solid
a
water.
landmass here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I think
better
that's
than
a
nothing.
fair
I think that's pretty
asterisk.
fair. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, I think I will camp. Can we do some ice fishing for Rapala? Let's do some ice fishing. Can we do that?
Yeah. Is there a reason
Just
this is
we
for
don't have to.
Rapala? Rapala, do you
Rapala
love
likes to
ice
ice
fishing?
fish. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I think there's a moment as you stand on this ice that it becomes apparent you're not the first person here. You
Yeah.
come upon a shack built
Oh, cute.
with the hole and the ice to fish through, and little benches
Ooh, we're gonna camp in a
chiseled into the
little
ice.
ice fishing shack and do a bit of ice fishing in the night. That's cute.
Good night. 163. Amanda, give us a little what do you want to do?
Thank
What
you,
does Neige do?
absolutely. Um, I think Nej is going to try to catch a little something. Would I have to roll for this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Um
I think one could argue,
I think
yeah,
fortitude makes the most sense because when you're
sure.
fishing, I feel like fishing is all about patience. Okay. Sorry for using another stat. And I'm going to make this day auspicious potentially. But it could end terribly. Watch me fall through the ice here. That would be pretty bad. Maybe I should have ended the day. I got a 4. Never mind. And it was my metal die too. I didn't think that one was going to roll a 4 today.
But a four is a four. I think it's obvious that this is just an unexpected, pleasant moment on this in this little ice fishing shack. Not only do you find you pull out a couple good catches, but I think there's also fuel left here. Maybe
What?
maybe charcoal from warmer months brought over. And I think yeah, it's enough that you can smoke or roast the fish, and it's just a
What?
lovely,
Just have a
pleasant
nice
meal. Maybe
dinner?
that you just have a
Mm.
nice dinner, and for a moment, it almost feels like you're back at your cottage just for a moment.
That's really cute. How auspicious.
It was auspicious, in fact. Did you say fortitude? You did say fortitude.
Fortitude and
And
quickness.
quickness was the other one. So
So
those will both go down.
two.
Look, Amanda's got to do what Amanda's got to do, folks.
Look, I just feel we're on the ice. The time is right. And it sounds so cozy. I would read this book.
So cozy.
I would 10 out of 10. I would read this book if this was a book.
You're writing this book.
We're
I do
yes,
two
we're writing it
diamonds.
together.
That is true.
It's like a little bit fantasy, a little bit like real world, a little bit mystical. There's a lot of cool things happening in the story.
Master of game. I draw 2 of diamonds.
Ooh, you could also have an auspicious day here.
I could. It could happen, folks.
That would be bad, I think, for us metagaming, but it would be pretty cool for you because you haven't had an auspicious day yet. And then maybe I'll have an inauspicious one, and everything will go crazy for me, which I would like. Yeah. So, sorry, you said 2 of diamonds?
I did say 2 of diamonds.
Okay. So I think that when you wake up as Nej in the morning in this little hut, and you are confronted with the fact that now you must journey on, I think because it was so lovely, I think Nej gets homesick. And I think she starts to wonder if this is really the journey that she wants to be on. And now she has to deal with the fact that, like, if she's leaving this place, like, which way do you go? Like, do you head back the way you came? Kind of thinking that you've learned enough here and that this is the end? Or do you continue onward towards your goal? But what is your goal now? I don't know. What is your goal now? Is this okay that this is an
emotional? Yeah, no, I think it's good. Okay. I think it's good. I think Nej wakes up in this ice fishing building, and for a moment it seems so close to home again, and then the realization that it's not is quite sad for her.
I think it's like, you know, when you wake up and you're dreaming of somewhere and then you like kind of think you're there. Have you ever woken up somewhere else and thought you were like at home? And then you like, as you wake up, you're like, oh wait, I'm totally different. This is like a weird place. This is not my place.
That's what happens. And she takes a breath, steadies herself, and she pulls out her book to try and like read some familiar words before she realizes, well, of course I can't do that either. My glasses. And so I think what she's going to do is she is tired, I think, more than she expected to be, only so far into this journey. And she... Okay, I see 2 options here. Okay. I'm going to choose the stranger one. There is fishing net here. There is fuel. And there's also enough of this sort of light material that you might use as blankets, or you might use as like, I think it might be hide. I think there's enough hide here that she starts to get an idea that feels crazy at first. And then it feels less crazy the more she thinks about it. She's going to try and fashion a hot air balloon.
Wow.
She
We're
doesn't
getting
know.
really wacky, and I like it. These ideas,
I think
this is really cool. I like this.
it dawns on her that she doesn't know where she's going. She's been following the winds and nature just to wherever it pushes her. And I think this is just so in this moment of isolation, must. She must. So this is going to be a quickness on my part
Okay,
because this stat is of air.
right.
Um, and cunning wit, so let's hope that does something for me. Quickness is only 2 dice, so this could go very badly, whether in a literal sort of crash sense or just in a demoralizing what was I thinking sense, but maybe
Yeah.
not. So I'm going to roll my 2 dice. I did get a 3.
So you succeed, but there is a bit of a complication.
I guess I'll say what she does first.
Yeah,
There's
tell me what she does, and then I can tell you what happens.
it takes a while. She's no stranger to stitching and no stranger to hidecraft, fashioning clothing from what she can find and what she can hunt. And I think here that trusty leather needle that she's brought with her just in case is just the right thing that she needs. Between the rigging of the nets and the hides that are here, the fuel that's here, everything does seem to come together, but it takes a while. What happens?
I think it takes a while, and she ends up getting up in the air. But by the time that she does, it's so dark that you can't see anything below you. And set adrift, you now have no idea which way you're headed. But you're on your way, and that is what you wanted. And so you got what you wanted, but maybe now Nej is starting to question once again, what is it that I want? What am I looking for? And why can't I see it?
Okay.
Hopefully, we're getting closer to it. I like the idea of flying. This is very cool.
Your turn is next. So I would invite
Okay.
you to draw a card.
Was that an auspicious day?
It technically was,
How
fascinatingly.
delightful. And so your quick-wittedness means we go down in that stat. So now it's a 1.
Sure is.
Whoa.
I imagine there was a lot. She put a lot into this,
It's a pretty
contraption.
intense undertaking what you have crafted. But I think it's super cool. Worth that 1 stat, baby. Let's fail at some stuff potentially. Or I mean, the thing is we're only taking 1 die result anyways. So it's just less options. You have the same kind of, well, you don't have the same odds, but you have the same opportunity to technically fail or succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
true. We could succeed any
you could succeed
roll.
with 1 die. Yeah, it's possible. Not as probable, but it's possible. 3 of hearts.
Okay, interesting. There are face cards in this deck. We just happen to have been given a kindness. 3 of hearts. Okay. Hearts.
Yeah,
Huh.
isn't that's some creative stuff. Also, Rapala, I'm glad you've never fallen through or come close to falling through ice when you've been ice fishing. That's good. Stay safe. Definitely feel like Kurt making an air balloon as Nej is gonna be one of my highlights of this game. It's pretty freaking cool.
Remind me, did we take off or just finish the contraption?
No, we're up in the air. We're
Great, that's what I
gliding.
thought, but
It's
then I
just
had a
now it's
moment.
dark, so you can't see so we have no idea where we're going. I don't
You'll
think.
find out what your challenge is.
I'm gonna find out where we're going.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. I think I know where this goes.
Okay, where does it go? Tell me. Take me.
Once aloft, the balloon continues traveling through the night. And as night settles, well, of course, so too emerges the aurora. And as you move towards it, something so strange happens. It becomes warmer. And you realize that those purples and greens that you've been seeing dancing across the sky, it's a meadow of wildflowers up here that dances in the sky each night. The balloon runs aground onto this strange meadow in the sky, hanging a little off the edge. Each of the ropes caught on a flickering bit of meadow, the balloon itself just stretched over the edge of this plane. What do you do?
Well, I think I want to go towards the meadow.
I think you're dangling beneath it.
I'm
How do you want to
dangling
approach
beneath the
this?
meadow because it's
Right,
in the
we can imagine.
sky. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
if the aurora is here, the balloon's top has caught on it,
Sheesh.
and your basket is swinging below. Do we see
My
this
instinct
in
would
our
be
mind's
to
eye?
jump, but I'm a little bit nervous about that because that would probably be quickness.
There are other things that you could choose to do,
That's
certainly.
true. Can I? So the balloon is above it and I'm dangling below it?
Yeah, if I'm okay.
Okay.
It's like this is the Aurora Meadow, and your balloon, here's the top of the balloon, and it
Yeah.
continues down to my elbow.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
balloon top has sort of caught over it and is blowing around in the winds that have pushed you this way, and your basket is swinging below. It's the best I can do.
I kind of want to do something crazy, but I don't know if
Well,
it's a
I would
bad
never do
idea.
anything like that in this game.
I was gonna say, what if we cut the ropes on the basket?
In order to,
Plummet to our death, sort of, but not intentionally. I think I want to trust that if the cloud is somehow the ground, that gravity should pull me towards it. So to cut the rope means I should fall back down onto it, upside down.
all
Is
right.
that crazy?
Well,
I don't know.
no
Yes.
crazier than me saying you encounter the aurora. It's a field.
It's a
Could you?
field. Okay.
What are you rolling?
I'm going to roll fortitude for that because I think there is an amount of self belief and
I
it is
really
also
appreciate
of
that because I think
Earth,
it
isn't
is
it?
averse. It would have been so easy to say, "Oh, I need to be strong to cut the ropes, and so I'm using the big stat." But fortitude feels correct. I would have let you do it,
Yeah. Yeah,
but I
no, I
like
was
that, Amanda.
thinking that I was just trying to think of like how do you get out of a scenario like this without it necessarily being a physical challenge? Because I could climb up, I could climb down, I could, try to do something with my body, but I'm like maybe the solution to this isn't something that's physical. Maybe the solution to this is something mental. So I like the idea of it being that, but I also didn't even realize that fortitude was of Earth, and now the way that I explain that, I'm like, why does that work so perfectly? What is this game? Why is it? How does it know what we're doing here? The game is listening to us. I'm rolling with my two favorites, so I don't know if it'll go well, but
We'll see, folks.
oh, two.
Okay. Well, you don't get what you want,
I
and
do
it
not.
does get worse. We know
Yes.
this. Um, I think as you cut the ropes, um,
Mm-hmm.
still that basket, I think there's a moment of wavering in your belief. The basket falls because you expect that it will fall as you cut it. And with that, the ropes begin to pull upwards and you find yourself hanging onto it. And now looking down at the aurora, which seems concerningly far down, but not maybe quite too far down yet. Or you could hold on and see where it goes. You find yourself dangling in the air. What do you do?
I can't use the same stat.
That is true.
So
It's
I'm
gotta be
gonna
different.
cling to this rope for dear life. I think Nej's calm facade is broken in this moment. And I think out of desperation, she clings onto the only thing that she has left that feels like it could be some semblance of safe and musters all of the strength that she has from actually getting to eat some pretty good food, I think, along her journey. Running into actual fishermen, running ice fishing and being able to cook and all these things. And she just holds on to this rope for dear life, hoping it will take her to a good spot.
Man, it's gonna roll 3 dice now. This feels like a big one.
Yeah, this feels like a big one. Can we die in this game?
Not exactly, no.
Not exactly.
Well,
sort of.
not in the way that you'd think.
Okay. Well, I got a 4, so that went well.
I think, okay. All right, well, you hold on, squeezing your eyes tight until you realize that it's just too beautiful not to look down. And before you, you see fields of wildflowers. But you keep going. The balloon carried farther. Wildflowers of these fields turning to shrublands as the elevation begins to increase, going up in sloping foothills to cliffs, and the balloon is getting closer and closer to ground level as you move further, balloon moving up, but the ground coming up to meet it. And as you feel your feet meet the ground, you open your eyes. The balloon falls to the ground, dragging against a familiar snowy field. As you stand in front of your cottage, again, inside, there's Juniper. And you get the sense of someone else. A little fuzzy when you try and focus on them. Some presence, but it doesn't feel threatening. Juniper says, "Hi. You made it." Nesh?
I don't understand.
Well, the door was open, so I thought maybe she wouldn't mind if I stopped by on my way to where I was going.
But how are you here? How am I here? How do you know where here is?
Well, I didn't, but I was looking for the answer too. And I found, well, I guess it all changed when I figured out the question, because it wasn't what I thought. I realized I wasn't asking myself how to fix something, but instead asking myself what I needed. Asking myself, well, I really liked when we danced. And I got to thinking that maybe I shouldn't have just let you go out like that and gone my own way. And then all of a sudden, I found myself here. You wouldn't believe if I told you how I got here. And then you were here, and it seemed like it was on purpose. I can go, though. I didn't mean to impose.
No, I thought the question was about the destination. I thought the answer was where I should be. What is my purpose?
A figure that you can't quite see, but can feel, seems to smile. Warmly, like you've arrived at something.
And now I'm realizing that maybe for me to find out where I needed to be, I had to go to where I wasn't, to end up back where I am. Maybe it's not about where you're meant to be. Maybe it's just about where you need to be.
Juniper nods, thinking. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know why, but I feel like I should give you this. And she reaches into a pocket. And what she pulls out is a pair of glasses.
My glasses?
I found them. I found them in the middle of. You wouldn't believe me anyway. There was this great tree that seemed to grow bigger and bigger, and
I think Nej takes Juniper's hands in her own and says, I believe you.
okay.
Thank you.
Can I stay for a little while at least?
And Nej seems to think for a moment. And then she says, I think I would like that.
Far away, an ice floe retreats from the beach back onto the shore, and a figure moves with it, farther away. In the sky, an aurora sparkles across, just above you now, just at that perfect time of night to see it just right. And as it shimmers up there, with or without your glasses on, it seems like, almost like, a field of flowers. I think that's our game.
I think that's the end of the
folks.
story. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Wow. It was kind of romantical. I don't know. My thing is, you know what I like about it? I like that there's an ambiguity to the relationship between Juniper and Nej. I don't know if they're friends. I don't know if it's platonic. I don't know if it's romantic. I can like get vibes of both of those things. I don't know if it's also there's something that's like about the inner self in that, like this idea of because Juniper's a little younger, we said. So another part of me has interpreted as this idea of like accepting yourself as being what you need, and that Juniper is kind of like a younger version of Nej.
Cool.
So I can see it like being many different interpretations of what that how that ends for those two women.
Now, for
Sequel
anyone
bait.
curious, this game can be played over quite a number of these sort of exchanges of hazard and
Yeah, I
change.
saw that you said that it said in the breakdown it can be like played up to 2 months. I guess that's because like that's the max you could go before you would hit the 2 jokers. Is that the idea?
Yeah,
Just
so I
over
had
2 months?
54 slots, but
Or
if you play
around?
with the intent to go through the full deck eventually, it works like this. The first time you draw a joker, you unlock a new stat that's called Hope. And every auspicious day that you've had so far counts as 1 point towards your hope. And on any given day, you can spend hope as part of your roll to increase the value of the roll that you make, which is cool. And then when you draw the second Joker, officially, that would be like the long-term game version, like end. So that I think is a really neat secondary mechanic that obviously in a one shot like this we wouldn't have time to touch on, but I thought I would share it
Yeah,
because it's an interesting piece of game design.
that is cool.
But I really liked our story. And
It was a pretty cool
fascinating.
story. I thought it was really interesting. I think the thing I also like about this game is it's funny. I just saw Avatar Fire and Ash the other day, and I was talking in my review, and also just talking in general when I was discussing the film afterward. This idea of like, where do epics fit in modern culture right now? And I was saying, like, I think we're going to see kind of a return of the epic in the next like few years. But this idea of these stories that kind of feel like a little bit bigger and somewhat general, but it's also because it's like in a way that connects with everyone. It literally does feel like an Odyssey, you know what I mean? Like it's like this big story where these things happen, but it's really about these small things in our lives and what those say about like the world and us and all of that stuff. And I just feel like this is weirdly echoing. I've been thinking about epics, and then I just reacted to the Odyssey earlier today, and I'm like, man, something about epics. They're just so. There's like a part of your DNA that I feel like an epic story lives within, if that makes sense. So this kind of taps
Yeah,
into that, like human code, whatever
all
that is.
big stories need to be grounded in little human experiences,
Moments.
right?
Yes, yeah.
Details,
To be
glimpses,
good.
motivations.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be
yeah.
good, to be
To be
good.
good.
Otherwise, they're just abstract. And I say that in spite of having had a pretty abstract ending to our story, but
We did.
it's grounded in a human experience, I
It is.
think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's special. Um, okay. Uh, Thanks for everyone joining us so close to the holiday season in this snowy special duet episode of Lies You'll Enjoy. Amanda, you're always up to things. Why don't you tell us what you'd like the folks to know about?
Well, if you are interested in my thoughts on epics, I do discuss it a little bit in my Avatar Fire and Ash review, which I think went up on my YouTube channel today, on my main YouTube channel, Vampex13. And I think the reaction to the Odyssey trailers on my other channel, Amanda McKnight Official, which is my reaction channel, if you want to hear me gush about why I love mythos and why I think it's powerful and important and why I'm excited about that story. Also, I will be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming a very not quite maybe an epic, although I think there are elements of that in the story. I'm playing some more Clair Obscure, Expedition 33. So that's going on. Thematically, these are all kind of weirdly tying together, which was never my intent for this week, and yet here we are. And that's pretty much what I have going on. We're going to be doing a special unbox over on the stream on the 27th. So tune in for that if you want a little bit more holiday magic in your life. Both Duck and I will be present, and we will be dressing up for it. And we'll be opening up any parcels that were sent to the P.O. box over the holiday season or any packages from Amazon and such like that I've been receiving. And there's still a few days if you want to try to get something sent in. That's pretty much, I think, all I have going on that I can think of immediately. I mean, I have a Patreon. There's the other place, the blue place. There's things. But mostly, I would say, I hope that you all have a good holiday season, and I hope that everybody gets to sleep, because sleep is good for you. And I don't do it enough, so please do it for me.
That's true. She doesn't,
I
folks.
don't. I'm going to try to, but we'll see. What about for you, Kurt? Do you have anything else going on right now?
Sure.
Something you want to
A little
plug?
bit.
A little bit of game
I just
stuff?
finished off a how to play video for Sock Puppets, which is that game that I released back in February.
What? How
I
to
don't
play
know if this
video?
link will work or not, but this is like a 5 minute video hosted by
Hi.
my goofy full size puppet Herman. in which he just teaches the whole rules to the game. There's a lot of goofy gags, and I think it's kind of funny just to watch. So, feel free to take a glance at that if you've ever been curious about the game. I feel like a huge weight is off my chest having finally made this and the full puppet video read through, which I put off forever editing, and then now that's up to, although you don't get that one for free. You gotta watch the quick start only for free. Yeah, so feel free to watch. Can we do a Muppets RPG with it? Vigore, that's like the only thing you can do with it. It's a bunch of squabbling puppeteers
It's
who all
really
have.
fun. I definitely would recommend if you haven't played. It's such a good game. We played it on stream and it was absolutely amazing.
So that's something. I also am currently beta testing a game that's called Ceci n'est pas une pipe, which is about an artist who can't stop drawing, and then an eggplant emoji appears in front of my face here. Everything this artist is drawing ends up looking like eggplant emoji appears in front of my face because he just can't see that well anymore. And the whole game is this goofy combination of telestrations and the Emperor's New Clothes, the Fable, and like I don't know, improv comedy. It's really goofy and really nonsense. And if you want to playtest it, shoot me a message. Let me know. I am more than happy to hook you up with the rules to the goofiest game that I've maybe ever made. Cool. So that's probably it for me. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. We will be back on Tuesday next week, not Monday. We are shifting it forward one day for availability reasons, but we will be back on Tuesday for the last stream of the year and hence our season. I don't yet know what game we'll be playing, but I tell you we will play it, and
we will play it.
We will play it. And rumor has it that Anthony and I will be in the same physical location. So isn't that something?
That's a delight. And I may also be there as well. Not physically.
What?
Not physically,
Oh.
but
digitally,
like, I may be present. Really? I may not be present. Still a little bit up in the air for me, but I have been keeping it clear. So assuming that I survive the holidays, I'll be there unless I am feeling like I need to sleep more.
Of course. And sleep is good.
Sleep is
we
good.
will all be proud of Amanda if she doesn't show up. But in the meantime, I wish you all a happy holidays, a happy new year, and yeah, catch you around next time. Amanda, do you have something you'd like to send our lovely viewers? Some different pasture.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what we got.
Wait, what were you doing? I just assumed you were looking.
What? No, I was just reading the chat.
Gotcha.
Oh, and I was looking at our VODs on our channel. If you were looking at me like, look, I was just looking at our VODs on YouTube.
Okay, well, if we don't see anything,
and making sure that I subscribe to that Lies actually subscribe to your YouTube, because I realized that Lies wasn't subscribed to you. And then I also thought to myself in my ADD brain, where while we were discussing this all, I was thinking about, we should like link those two things, because we should, that way people can find your stuff more easily. And then I was like, should we link to mine? And then I was like, I don't know if we need to link to mine.
I'm not YouTube, man. Your stuff makes more sense, but that's a logistical discussion.
No, but your stuff is RPG stuff, so it makes even more sense. What? Anyways.
I barely have stuff.
Well, if you do, it would be nice for people to be able to find it easily if they would like. But yes, this is a discussion for a future time on if we would like to link anything to our channel. What I will say is, yeah, I will look and see where we can go. Also, Otto, do you mean like community game on New Year's Eve, like an RPG where we all play? Is that what you're saying, like for Lies? Or are you saying like video games or like some kind of game? I feel like it would be hard to run a game with chat where you all play an RPG. I don't know. I don't know what game. Well, Curb would probably have a better idea for something like that, but I think something with like chat involvement where you vote on things would be easy, but I don't know about.
I actually do know what game it would be.
Oh,
like,
really?
I do know what game. If we
Oh,
were to
there
ever
you
do a
go.
big
Kurt always
like
has a game.
chat involving game, I do know what it would be. However, I will
Not
tell
on New
all of
Year's
you,
Eve, but
New Year's
probably
Eve,
no.
I have a party on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I was
Every
going to
year
say
I throw a
every year.
party on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so you're
I
busy. But
I'm sorry,
what is
babes.
this
I gotta make a
game that you
toast. I
have?
gotta kiss a midnight. It's not mine. It's a game called No. Yeah, I'm talking to Otto. You gotta find a thing. Go go
I'm
go
yeah,
go
I'm
go go
looking,
go,
but
go
I'm
find your
listening to
destination.
you. I'm prompting you so that I can
All
find a
right,
thing.
all right. Folks, keep an eye on Amanda because sometimes she'll be doing something and then you start talking to her and Amanda's not doing the thing anymore. You gotta keep an eye on that
I'm
Amanda.
doing the thing.
Jamie, I
Hocus
know
pocus,
not
hyper
everybody has
focus.
an party on New Year's Eve, but I do every year because it's fun and it's my favorite holiday, and so I like to be a little sparkly and
Yes, I was about to say this is a thing
celebrate.
that perhaps not everyone in chat will know about Kurt, but as someone that is Kurt's friend and has known him for many years, uh, this is true. Kurt does always have a party on New Year's Eve.
It's a really special
Always.
holiday. But I'll answer your question, Vigre. The game is called Long Time Listener, Last Time Caller. And in it, people from an audience, in this case, a real audience, call into a radio station that is running during the apocalypse. And slowly over the course of play, just more and more like filters between like, hey, you're all listening to 96.7 The Bear. Like that slowly falls away. And then you're left with just people um, going through a challenging situation together, and the rules of air fall away. But it would involve like putting you folks on the air, like having you record a little Discord message during play or something like that, and then playing it for everyone else probably once we've screened it, just so, just so, to make sure that everything jives. And then we would address your caller question. So that's the thing that exists in my head that I would play if we ever did do like a giant, uh, all the pals from chat sort of game.
So I think I have found a stream for us. It is a lovely group called Reflect Games, and they seem to be playing based on their tags. I'm not entirely sure if this is true based on what they're saying, but their tags are Zeebs. They got Zeebs, and they're doing like a holiday one shot. And
Santa's over there.
the person that seems to be, I think, like kind of like running the game is Santa. So that seems pretty freaking cute. So I think, yeah, let's rate them. I also gave them a
Right,
follow
folks.
from Lies. I would encourage everyone to give them a follow.
I've given you folks our little calling card, as it were. Someday we'll program it so that we can just write ! raid and then you'll have it there. But until then, I type it out every time
Yes.
just for you.
And I would say that sounds really fun, and we should do something like that at some point. I may be streaming on New Year's Eve, but not with Lies. You'll enjoy. But Duck and I might do a little something. We're still kind of undecided, and it kind of just depends on like where I'm at. My New Year's Eve tends to be very, very chill. I don't usually party. I usually like go to bed early. So it just kind of depends on where my energy level is on New Year's Eve. But we
Have you
might do
ever gone
something.
to bed early in your life? What do you mean?
I
You
just
usually
fall
go to
asleep
bed
usually
early?
before midnight. We're like doing stuff and then I just fall asleep. So it's not intentional. I'm trying to stay awake. I think it's just like the holidays kind of zaps me of energy is what ends up happening.
Oh, that makes
Because I'm
sense.
trying to keep
Totally.
up with family things, and especially now being self-employed, trying to keep up with all my work while trying to keep up with family and friends and do all the stuff. It's more challenging than I maybe realized it was, which is weird because I did this last year and I feel like it was less intense. I think I'm just doing more this year. So that's the challenge.
So busy. Okay. Well, once again,
Yeah, it
folks,
might just
thank
be a
you
chill
so much
vibe.
for joining
Exactly,
us.
Otto. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us. And we will see you next week for more lies that hopefully you will enjoy. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta copy the raid message, so I'm doing that. Okay, we're raiding. Bye. And for those of you that are still with us on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching the VOD, you're absolutely delightful. Thank you for making it all the way to this point in the VOD. You're great. And I hope you have a fantabulous evening. Good night. And
Good night.
good luck. Bye, Mikey.
And
Happy holidays.